card. Alright, we're gonna throw it. Throw out our goblins. Alright, so I've seen a little bit of play of this game mode, and it seems somewhat interesting, but obviously we're starting from zero, so it's going to be interesting to see where it ends up. Welcome to the jungle. Alright, how interesting. Let's see. Let's see what we want to play for this deck. I don't know that I want to play with the Goblin Giant. Let's see. Yeah, let's just play with the deck she gave us and see how it goes. Alright, well, good news is the Goblin Demolisher is good against goblins, so that's nice to know. We're going to play our Goblin Cage here, because we do not want to take damage from that. We're going to play our Goblin Demolisher behind. And then we're just going to arrows his Dark Goblin. I wonder if this is going to actually be able to get a connection, and it doesn't. So, we're going to take a couple of stabs from the Goblin Giant. So, interesting so far. The game looks a little different. The levels and everything, which is kind of weird to see. It's kind of weird to be different than the normal game mode, but what the heck is that? He just pushed his Goblin Cage at the bridge. Oh, okay. I was not tracking his or my own Goblin Queen ability, so it's okay though. We end up getting a bunch of damage from it anyways. So, nothing to complain about. Goblin Cajun cycle. And I don't know that he did, so good play from us. We get a bit of decent damage there on him. Connection is freaking out. Alright, we take the lead in damage pretty easily. We'll play Goblin Cage. And then goblins to distract his goblins. So the next goblin card we play is going to be a special one. So I think we're going to have to go for a tower trade here. Because I don't think I have the cards to defend his units. We actually do defend. So, and it looks like we will take his tower. So as long as we can avoid taking 213 damage here, that'll be good. Their Goblin Cage, Demolisher, Goblins. Just pull everything away from the tower. And I think we're good. So, obviously 0 trophies. is going to be not very hard, so. Alright, let's just keep playing. I don't know what else. This game's kind of interesting. You have to kind of keep track of your Goblin Queen ability, which is annoying, because if you just want to screw around, and it's kind of annoying to have to worry about something else. We're going to log here to make sure we kill the wall breakers. Decent Dark Goblin damage. We're just going to play our cage, because even though he probably has a Goblin Giant, I don't really mind doing that, and then we're going to spam our goblins at the bridge. Not having to face Dagger Duchess in this game mode is really nice. So, I mean, he doesn't really defend, which is nice. Let's play a Knight and some arrows. And then while the Demolisher is on our doohickey. Oh, we take the damage there, which sucks. But we'll get a fine log here fine value from the log. Looks like we're 2 away from getting our ability down from the Goblin Queen. So I think if we play our Goblin Cage and our Goblin Giant at the bridge, Goblin Cage and our Knight to try and and then we're going to arrow for his Demolisher, which I think is actually going to on our tower, unfortunately. So the next one we play is going to be our Goblin Queen ability, so I'm going to wait till we have our Goblin Giant available. And then I think we're actually going to play it in the left lane, since we don't need very much damage. And I think we're just going to go for the tower trade, because I don't think there was a chance we were going to defend that tower. But now we have put pressure on both of his towers, and we take them both, which is nice. So, and now we have a lot of pressure on him for the 3 crowns. We get a good arrows on the tower as well, and so we end up getting the 3 crown. Not bad there. Definitely nothing to complain about. Fun so far. I'm not going to mess with the deck at all. And just kind of mess around with the original deck that it comes with. Because it's working so far. I imagine I'll switch it in a little bit, but for right now, I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to take damage here from the Hog Rider, which is annoying. But hopefully we won't take too much damage from the Demolisher. Dark Goblin goes in front of the Knight, which is annoying, but we end up getting good damage from it. And then we'll actually log his Dark Goblin. Yeah, tracking the... He's got the Goblin Giant and the Hog Rider, which is somewhat interesting. Hopefully we don't take too much damage from the Goblin Giant here. I don't think it actually ended up getting anything, so that's good. We're gonna drop our goblins in the opposite lane, try and add some extra pressure. Our Demolisher should be able to get a charge on the tower if he doesn't do anything. Oh, we still do get the damage on the tower from that, which is really nice. So I think we're just gonna cycle our... no, we're just gonna have to play defense here. So our next unit will be drop the little queen ability. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the same thing as last game, where I'm just gonna drop it in the opposite lane and see if we're able to get that double pressure. And we do, so we're gonna put our Dark Goblin. I don't have a lot for the defense there, but we get both towers, which is really nice. We're gonna play our Knight for the Goblin Demolisher. Shouldn't take any damage from that. We have our Goblin Cage up for his Hog Rider, his Goblin Giant. So, easy defense there. We do have to worry about the Goblin Giant now. We're going to play our... Just play some defense on this tower. I'm not too worried about it since he has to take both towers. And that's not going to be super easy for him. But it looks like we should be able to get the win just playing defense here. Cycle the Knight. Goblin Demolisher to counter his Goblin Demolisher. And then we'll actually play our Dark Goblin just to add that distraction of our mini Goblins on the board. Oh, his tower only has 45 HP, so we're just going to arrows. Take it out. Definitely did not notice that. Yeah, I like the update. I don't like playing Goblin cards very much, so this will be interesting trying to get me to play more Goblin cards. Just gonna try and drag his Goblin Giant back up. This is not great. So it's gonna take some... We will get a pretty good value log here. And we don't actually end up taking any damage, which is really nice. And he really overcommitted on offense there, so we'll actually get really good damage on both lanes. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but... We'll go with our Goblin Demolisher. It seems to be a really good counter to regular Goblins. He'll deal some good damage to him. Except for if they all separate out like that. That's really annoying. We'll put a Knight in front of the Demolisher. So we gotta watch out for his Queen ability. We're gonna go for an arrow that completely misses almost everything. So we gotta watch out. He's gonna have his Goblin Giant up here in a second. But I don't want to take any damage from the Demolisher, so I'm just gonna log it. And we get good value from it with the barrel as well. So we're gonna hold for our Goblin Giant, and then we'll play the Goblin Giant in the right lane. We'll play our Knight to counter the Goblins. Yeah, the regular Goblin cards are not very good if you have the right counters. He plays his Goblin Giant as well, but I'm not sure that it's going to end up doing anything for him. Yeah, I don't think we got any damage there. He kind of wastes his ability there, playing the Goblin Cage on defense. So, we might be able to get another 3 crown here. Just keep gaining trophies. Not sure how I feel about the Goblin Queen, but... having a good time. Open up our lucky box. 20 epic wild cards. That's not something. That's not anything to complain about. We get one of the weird goblin chests. Just gonna give us a bunch of goblin cards. Claiming our rewards. I'm interested to see how the leveling goes. Our Knight doesn't go down fast enough, which is annoying, but... we'll play Goblins in the opposite lane for extra pressure. He plays his Goblin Giant as a defensive card against our Knight, which is funny. We might take a little damage here from it, but not that bad. Well, ended up being worse than I wanted it to be. And our log misses one of those, so... not a great interaction. Just gonna cycle the knight and the goblins up high to try and kill this dark goblin a little faster. Dark goblin at the bridge is quite annoying, so we'll try and get some damage from it. And we're gonna put our goblin demolisher behind the knight and see if we can get some damage. The goblin cage isn't gonna be great for him. He wastes his he wasted his spear goblins. We're gonna have to log these little guys away though, because I was not prepared for that. But we're gonna actually use our queen ability here to back up our goblin giant. We know he has log and zap, so we'll take some damage. We'll lose a little bit of health there, but we end up getting his tower, so it ends up being a better trade for us. Now we just gotta play defense. We have our goblin cage for if he tries to put his goblin giant down, but he also doesn't have, he's not close to his queen ability. We're gonna arrows for the spear goblins. I don't want to lose much to them. We don't take any damage from the goblin giant, which is nice. We'll play our knight to tank for the goblin brawler. But our overall goal here is just to play defense. So we get a really good value log there, but I don't know that it is going to be enough to stop his goblin giant from taking our tower. Yeah, he plays his goblin cage, which kind of wastes it, which is really good for us because now we can go goblin giant, dark goblin at the bridge, and we should be able to defend enough to get the win here. I don't think his small spells will do enough anyways. Yeah, we end up taking his tower, so we get the better end of that match as well. The games aren't very challenging down at the lower trophies, it looks like. But it looks like it goes all the way up to 3,400 trophies, which is quite a bit. Looks like we have to get up to 1,000 and we'll unlock the Goblin Curse spell, and then if we can get up to 2,000, we'll unlock the what's the card name? The Goblin Machine. Seems like the Goblin Machine is going to be a pretty good card to play with. So we'll try and get as high as we can. We don't have too long to play today, but we'll go Knight, Dark Goblin at the bridge, see if we can get a little bit of damage. We have arrows here for minions, and then Goblin Cage for the Goblin Giant. We'll take a little bit of damage here, which is annoying, but it shouldn't actually be too bad. We don't have to waste anything for the Goblin Barrel, and then we'll get a Knight down in front of the Goblins. So, the Wizard's going to be pretty annoying here. It'll splash a lot of our units, but, I mean, we take a lot of his tower there before anything even happens. We're going to use the Goblin Demolisher here to try and tank for the Wizard. He's got the Hog Rider, so hopefully we can take quite a bit of damage there from it. We'll get a shot or two from the Dark Goblin, which is nice, and it'll actually take the tower. Now you can just focus on defense. Not the most entertaining, just playing defense, but I'm not going to complain. So we're gonna drop an early Goblin Cage, and we're just gonna arrows the Goblin Barrel.
Green is my favorite color.
So we're gonna use our Queen ability. We don't really have to worry about saving it for anything because we already do have his tower, but it'll end up getting some distraction for us anyways. So we're not gonna waste any elixir here. We want to make sure we have a defense here for the Hog Rider and the Wizard. We don't take a Hog Rider hit. We're okay. He's got E-Barbs. which is not what I thought I would see in this game mode. We'll get a good value log here, and good value arrows as well. We might lose our tower here, but we're in a decent spot to not have to worry too much about it. We'll play our goblins to kite the minions, and then our knight as well will help. We'll take a little bit of damage here from the Hog Rider, but we have our Goblin Queen ability ready. We'll drop our Goblin Giant in the pocket and see if we can get the damage we need from that. And it looks like we probably will. We get quite a lot of damage there from the ability, and so still haven't lost, which is nice. Mostly 3 rounds. I mean, it hasn't been super challenging yet. I imagine at the higher trophies it'll get harder, but I mean, 3 crown, 3 crown, 3 crown, 3 crown. It's been pretty easy so far. I'm excited to unlock some of those new cards. I think they'll be fun. A fun addition to the game. Yeah, playing against this tower troop has been a breath of fresh air, not having to face Dagger Duchess every 5 minutes. He goes for the Goblin Cage, or he goes for the Goblin Giant. We'll play our Goblin Cage up high just to distract it. And then we'll try and play our Goblins to get the Dark Goblin as well. He has Void there, and it's pretty poor Void, honestly. That's annoying. I bet this will get on the tower here, and it'll actually kill his goblins as well, so really bad goblins from him. So, I'm interested to see if this Goblin Queen's journey is going to end up being like a only goblins kind of thing, or if it's going to turn into all sorts of different decks. We take the damage from the Goblin Demolisher there, which is kind of annoying, but he's ready for his Queen ability, so we want to make sure we keep our arrows up so we can protect against that. I'm just gonna kind of hold for a second. We're gonna play our Goblin Cage. We get really good value arrows here, which is really nice. We end up having to use our ability for the defense, which isn't great, but we'll actually get some really good damage out of it. And we'll get a good log here as well. So we almost take his tower. It'll be mostly in arrows log range, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about it. We'll be able to mostly focus on defense. He's not too close to his Queen ability, so it shouldn't be too much of a challenge. We're going to play our Demolisher in the back, and then our Knight to tank for the Goblins. I don't think the Void is very good into the Demolisher here. We end up forgetting to play our Goblin Cage there, which is really annoying. We'll have to use our log on the right side. We don't lose our tower, but we also don't put ourselves in a great situation here. We'll play our Goblin Giant on the left side, or on the right side, to try and get some extra damage there. Yeah, we lose our tower. We're going to go for our arrows log on the left side. And we should... Well... That's what I get. Maybe we'll get a stab here. We get a shot from the Dark Goblin, so we're actually okay. That could have been really bad had that Dark Goblin not gotten the shot off there. We're gonna kind of spam here. We're gonna arrows his Dark Goblin, and we'll play our Goblins to try and slow down his Demolisher a little bit. Looks like our Demolisher gets the damage. It looks like we're 2 Goblins away from being able to have our Queen ability. So we have our Queen ability up. We get a really good log there on his Dark Goblin. So we're going to go for arrows here to kill all of his Dark Goblins. And then we're going to go for a Goblin Giant in the pocket. should soak up all of his damage. Good log for him, but now we will play our Dark Goblin, which should be able to get us some damage. Yeah, we're up. We're up as of now. We get a pretty good log here. We have our arrows for his Goblin Barrel. He's going to keep playing Void, but it doesn't really do much. Once we get our Goblin Giant tanking that, we'll get the Dark Goblin. Yeah, I think we got him here. We just have to make sure we don't do anything stupid in the next 20 seconds. Yeah, okay. We end up getting the win there. That one was a lot closer than I wanted it to be, but obviously a win's a win. I'm not going to complain about it. So we'll probably play a couple more, one or two more, and then hop off and try and come back on tomorrow for some more Goblin Queen Journey. So we're just going to go for our Dark Goblin at the bridge. Not facing Dagger Duchess, it can be quite beneficial. He goes for his goblins in time to block it. So we actually need to worry about cycling to our Goblin Cage to be able to take out this Goblin Giant, which is a little concerning. Got a little bit of opening handed there, but we end up taking care of it well enough. We might be able to get some damage from the Dark Goblin here. Looks like we won't be able to. That was really annoying, kiting me like that. We end up getting a little bit of damage, which is nice. Give him a little emote. He's going to go for another Goblin Giant. We're going to go for a Goblin Giant at the bridge. He's going to use his Goblin Cage, I bet, but he'll get really good value. Small spell. We just got to try and get to a Goblin Cage here in time to stop his Goblin Giant. It'll be a little late, and his Dark Goblin will end up most likely helping it take our whole tower, but tower trade here isn't the worst. We've come back from worse. We'll lose our tower almost to this Dark Goblin, which gets an insane amount of damage most of the time. I don't know why Clash. I don't know why they decided to give everybody that weird crying Prince emote. It's quite annoying, but might have judged. He's gonna go for a Goblin Giant in the back. We're just gonna try and cycle back to our Goblin Cage. No, I actually lose connection here, which is lovely. We kind of, that's probably gonna, yeah, nothing's going off right now, which is lovely. Well, we win several in a row, but we lose connection at the end there, which kind of screws us over. So we'll play one more and see where we end up. We gain trophies for losing. That's kind of dumb. But I see the benefit of them playing the game, setting up the game like that. It encourages people to play, even though they might not go up as much. We're just gonna go with the Goblin Demolisher at the bridge. It doesn't seem like a great card, but it also does not seem like the worst card ever. Not so sure about that from him on the Goblin Cage defense. We'll be able to get a Knight up high to be able to block everything. And then we'll play our login goblins. So, we take a lot of damage there. I don't know quite how he got that much damage. Going back down to level 9 troops is kind of sucks. I don't think he has his Goblin Cage in cycle, so I think we can get away with a... And my connection is not doing good. Really can hang on decently. We're going to go for surround this Goblin Demolisher with the goblins. But of course, they place him too late with the connection. So we're going to go for the Goblin Giant at the bridge. And see if we can get some damage here with our Queen ability. He's got his Queen ability as well. So we'll have to try and defend better than him. Gosh, my connection is really slow right now. And I think the arrows missed the tower anyways. This is just lovely trying to fight through the no connection. He goes for the cage early. We might be able to punish him for that. Going with our Goblin Giant now. We'll throw our Demolisher behind it. Well, yeah, and I think the slow connection is just going to be the death of us here, which is not lovely. So, quite annoying not being able to place your cards on time. Kind of crucial sometimes when you're trying to play a clean defense. But we'll end up taking the loss here. So we end on 2 losses because of bad connection. But we're not going to try and force any more games. We're just going to end the stream here. And we will try and play some more of the Goblin Queen's Journey tomorrow. Thank you for tuning into my live stream, and I will see you another day.